Kenya currently plays host to more than 1 million refugees from the war-torn Somalia, many of whom have lived in refugee camps for decades. It is believed that the refugee camps have been used to harbor terrorists to carry out attacks in both Kenya and other East African countries. It is for this reason that the Kenyan government, together with that of Somalia, have signed an agreement to have the refugees repatriated back home after the country was stabilized. The signing was done by Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto and Somali government officials led by Somali Deputy Premier and Foreign Affairs Minister Fauzia Yusuf.
The large number of undocumented refugees, as well as the sheer magnitude of the entire refugee burden, has created unprecedented security challenges for our country. Unfortunately, these challenges include terrorism, banditry, as well as common criminals taking improper advantage of refugee status.
The government of Somalia recognizes the need for durable solutions for the refugees who are willing to return to Somalia to rebuild their lives. In this regard, my government, supported by the international community, shall put in place conditions conducive to the return of the refugees, including administrative, judicial, and security measures.
Attributing the move to Somalia's current stability, which he says has come a long way from the state of affairs when Kenya sent troops in a military incursion to Somalia, the deputy head of state said it was time the refugees made their way back home.
The signing of this tripartite opens a new avenue in terms of resolving the refugee burden that Kenya has continued to bear over the years. The burden of hosting over 600,000 refugees, 500,000 of them are from Somalia, has put a huge constraints in Kenya in terms of security, environment, and many other burdens to the neighboring communities.
We support the return and reintegration of many refugees whom we have hosted for over 2 decades. Kenya presently hosts 610,000 documented refugees.
The security situation in Kenya and its neighbors has been the center of debate, particularly after the 21st September Westgate terror attack that Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for, claiming that the attack was a result of the presence of Kenyan troops in Somalia. But President Kenyatta vowed not to pull out the troops until Somalia put its house in order and not through intimidation tactics and attacks on Kenyan soil. However, security operations have since been stepped up to rid the country of any suspected insurgents and terrorist cells that are mainly being alleged to be centered around refugee camps. The signing of the agreement comes a day after Ethiopia agreed to send its troops to join AMISOM forces operating in Somalia. The decision was announced during a meeting between Ethiopian Prime Minister Haile Mariam Desalegn and William Ruto before he left for Kenya Saturday. Ethiopian security chiefs are said to already be engaged in strategy talks with their Kenyan counterparts on the joint operation. Jacky Maribe, Sunday Live.